everyone. I am Karen Thomas. This is the Summit Seekers virtual coffee chat. Of course, our motto, or my motto, is a better life is a choice. We have businesses. We cover topics that have to do with building our businesses, balancing the time between family and business, and just any kind of topic that may help you grow as a person, either running your business or just being a human being. So if you're catching this on the replay, give us a hashtag replay, of course, a comment or an aha moment of anything that we talk about. And of course, if you'd have a question, even if you can't be here live, we'd love to cover any kind of question that you may have that you would like the community to talk to or talk about, or me to personally talk about, because I'm going to be here every Thursday. And when I can't, then I sometimes change the time. But for right now, we're going to let Miss Vidra introduce herself, and then we're going to start our chat.
Hi, everyone. I am Vedra Moon, and I am known as the safety net builder. What I do is I help my clients find different insurance products to meet their financial needs, and I also help their family members save up to 70% off funeral expenses. Well, I don't know if I mentioned I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. Thank you.
Charleston should be, it's already like the Bradford pears are doing, the cherry trees are doing. I think should be really starting to bloom and bud over there, isn't it? Isn't
Oh,
spring
yes.
showing
And the
up?
weather today, it's like, yes, they are. And it's like 65 over here today. It's beautiful.
Oh, fabulous. I think today's in the 50s, but we've had rain. It was the rain was supposed to stop yesterday, but I got up this morning and it was still kind of raining or finishing up. So I'm hoping that it's stopping now. Hence the post that I made today. If you didn't see it, it was about the rain.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Well, I just tried to, when I'm talking with people and we talk about how the weather, snow, rain,
Yes.
whatever goes on, especially during the winter, it always seems to be nasty. I just try to flip it and say, with all this rain, because it's rained all week, my strawberries, we have a strawberry festival in May. So people go
Ooh,
strawberry picking, and we do strawberries here in the first part of May. So I just look at it and say, okay, my strawberries are going to be fabulously juicy and plump because we're having lots of
mm,
rain to make my strawberries absolutely fabulous. But all of our food, everything that we eat, the farmers, that we have to have rain and water. That is what makes our planet livable.
yes.
And to always complain about the weather in our lives or um in our physical life is to say that it's not of value and that it doesn't serve us. And that is furthest from the truth, because without the rain, try living in the Mojave Desert. Try living,
Oh,
over in Saudi Arabia with all the sand dunes.
oh,
Nothing grows there without rain.
yeah.
So that was the whole point of my post, was that we grow. Everything grows. So smile and think of whenever you are being in the rain or you chomping on your food, it took the rain to enjoy it.
Yes.
So we were kind of talking a little bit before I started the recording to start the meeting. And it's just really interesting. And I'm just going to put it out there because I know that so many of you are building your business, and maybe you're just doing posts out there about your business, events, and going to events, or going to different seminars or challenges or whatever, are an important part of a lot of people's businesses. If you're interested in learning how to do an event, of course, contact me. I'd love to help you. I'll even help you co-host it if you wanted to do it together, if you didn't think you could actually manage it you're by yourself. But the thing about events is that I have people in our community that tell me they're coming to every event that never show up. And the thing is how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you are constantly saying, I'm going and going, and you never show up, if it was your event and you were looking at, oh, I got 10 people who said they were going, and then nobody showed up, how would you feel? What do you think, Miss Vidro? What is your
Um,
take on all this?
yeah, that would be definitely disappointing because it's exciting to have all of these people saying they're going to come up and show up, and when they don't, it's crushing.
I mean, the interested or the I can't come, those are fine. But to say you're
Yes.
going to something, I was brought up, maybe it was the way I was brought up. You're a much younger person, but you, of course, were brought up in a different country. And I really think that people in other countries seem to value their word differently than people in the US nowadays. Somehow, over the generations, when I was growing up, if you said you did something, you did it. Your word was everything. It was legally binding to have your word in a handshake at one point in this country. Now it seems common just to lie about everything.
Wow.
I mean, what do you think? You came from a different country, so what is your take on the values that seem to be going on?
Um, like you're definitely right. Like here in the US, it seems a lot of people they'll just say stuff without even meaning it. And like even with like sometimes people just show up late. It seems people don't value their word. It's just like when you were mentioning about your event, like if I was hosting an event, I'd much rather say I'd much rather have somebody either say interested or maybe and eventually show up than say they're going to show up and not show up at all. Mm, my screen is frozen.
Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. My computer said plug in, and it didn't give me 2 seconds, and it died. It's like, oh my God.
What happened?
It said my battery that I needed to plug it in.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but it only gave me like 2 seconds. From the time it came up,
Oh
I was in
dear.
the process of plugging it in, and it like, whoop. But
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was my internet or your end because I was talking and I saw your screen frozen. I was like, what's going
no,
on?
it was me. So when I go to put this together, we'll have two different two different ones to make the meeting. But that's okay. Life happens. You just got to pick it up and say, okay, what we doing? Um,
Yes.
all right. So where were we? We were talking about the values in the US versus other places. And since you came to this country as an adult, and that was what you were going to explain before my poor computer decided to disengage.
Well, yeah, you're definitely right about a lot of people here in the US just saying things without actually meaning it. And I think also just recently with a lot of people just saying they're going to do stuff and not showing up, it could be because there's just so many distractions. There's because with me building my online business, sometimes it's overwhelming with all those trainings. So it also comes down to priorities because what are they prioritizing? Because I'm sure there's probably a bunch of other trainings that are available at the same time. And sometimes people just don't know which one to prioritize.
Right. So would you say that it would be better maybe to put interested instead of going, unless it is a priority that you decide that you're going to go no matter what? See, the interested people to me are a different category than the going.
Yes, I think it's definitely better to put interested. So if I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it, then I'd put interested. And if I'm able to, then I'd show up at the last minute. But if I just had a
Exactly.
lot, yeah, yeah,
Exactly. I just find it really interesting because I post a lot of events because I'm involved in a lot of things and I try to help other people take advantage of some of the things that I have benefited me and improved my life. So if I can run an event to help them know about it rather than just share it, because when you share information, it does kudos for you for sharing it.
okay,
um or whoever had the post and you shared it, it's kudos to them. But when it shows up on your stuff, it the Facebook doesn't promote it because then it's not original content on yours.
okay,
So when you share memories, this is the whole problem with memories, and people keep sharing, do all the memories, and I love memories on Facebook, please don't get me wrong. But the better way to share a memory is to take the pictures, copy the wording, and then repost it as an original post saying, this showed up as a memory today. And you make the memory, not share the memory.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because the algorithm doesn't promote it when you share it on your newsfeed because it's not new. It's somebody else's or it is your own. If you make it a brand new post, then it gets more traction.
Yeah.
But going back to people's word, one of the and I grew up in an age that your word was everything. So I have a really hard time. It's really That's why I put the quote in the group the other day, quit expecting yourself from other people. Because I grew up in a different age. And so many people, each generation, they grow up with different values. There's different things going on. I mean, when I was watching TV was still in black and white when I was a little girl. We didn't really have color until
Yeah.
I was practically a teenager. But the thing about the TV is back when TV was very, very young, you couldn't cuss, you couldn't, people didn't sleep in the same bed, they didn't even kiss
Oh, wow.
on TV. You know, as people push the boundaries, it's now gotten more commonplace all the time for more of the different kinds of ideas to be becoming more commonplace. I was telling
Okay.
somebody the other day, I said, it's almost becoming what is it? Uncommon to be heterosexual. That if you are not bisexual or transgender or something than that, then you're not normal. I'm like, you go on shows and this and that, they have to have one of everything. I said, what is all of this? I'm not against any of it. Please don't take me wrong. I value everyone. I
Yeah.
just don't get why they have to put everything in such a way in TV to make people feel like that if you are of the old generation, like being heterosexual, that you're almost like outdated. Is that just me? Do you see that, or is it maybe it's just me?
No, you're definitely right. Like commercials, TV programs, movies, I've seen it. Like it's definitely changing.
It seems like that's what they want people to be.
Yes.
We are influenced and programmed by everything that we see, we hear, and that we participate in.
Yeah.
So we are being programmed each and every day. You have to decide at some point what kind of programming that you truly want to have. Because if you don't choose your own programming, then society's going to choose it for you.
Yeah.
This is why your peer group's important. This is why what you watch and you put on and fill your day with is important. What you expose yourself to affects you. I watched, and I wished I hadn't watched it. I don't know the value of why I watched it. I'm a very big nature person. You know,
Okay.
I love videos or reels, anything to do with wildlife, you know, like the safari stuff. I watch anything with nature, fishies, whales, you know, if it's
Nice.
nature, I love it. I happen to, something came up. I think I was watching a few reels or something that I had clicked on about whales or dolphins. And then this thing came up about lions.
Oh.
And it showed a male lion, and I don't know how I got, but this was like a 20-minute thing. I'm like, I didn't know what it switched to, but it was some kind of video about this male lion, and it was having like the people who run or monitor the parks where these I won't say safaris, where these wildlife preserves are.
Okay.
And they were covering this pride, because that's what lions are called, a pride.
Yes.
And they were talking about, they were watching this pride because the male that had run it had died.
Oh, okay.
Okay, old age. They just didn't say, they didn't actually talk too much about why, but they were talking about this lioness had made this kill, and they showed a male lion because he claimed the kill, because you know lions, the male lions eat first.
Yes.
I started thinking, why would anybody want to be a lion? They don't kill their the for the pride. The females do it, and then they sit there and they have to eat first.
Okay.
And so this male is sitting here in front of this carcass, and um, it was talking about the other lionesses in this pride. This male is taking over this pride, and they were talking about how um, almost unfair, or how when you talk about the the mindset of
Yes.
animals, they're territorial, and this lion is taking over this pride, but the mamas which he wants to mate with already have, you know, children, you know,
Yes.
lion.
Hmm.
So they were showing that these younger males, which are now not part of this lion's heritage at all, and the mom lioness kind of walked away or went to do something else, and her son was kind of sitting there, and it didn't show him move, but I guess the bigger lion, the lion that was on the carcass that's taking over this pride, decided he got too close and attacked
Oh,
this young
wow.
male. And what was really, you see, you know, you see cats play, you see dogs play, you see how they, you know, they kind of pounce and they do
Yes.
stuff and then they move away. So you
Hmm.
see that, and then you see the big lion go back to the carcass, and these guys are kind of talking, saying, well, he got a little too close and this and that. And then you see this young lion dragging himself
Oh.
away. The big lion, and they said, well, why, you know, he didn't need to finish the young lion off, he broke his back.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I can't unsee this.
That's so sad.
it, but okay, it is sad, but it is nature. It is,
Yes.
it's their instinct. This is what lions do. You know, this is what stallions do. They run off. You know, look at rams, deer that fight with their horns, they get them locked. nature's not nature's not pretty.
No.
But what it showed me was, or what it made me think of, is a lot of times I'm doing this speaker training, and it says, you know, take on, a persona. Who is your animal spirit? And you have all these posters and stuff of lions. After
Mhm.
seeing that, I'm saying, ooh, I don't know that being a lion, maybe a lioness,
Okay.
but being a lion is to me is now not a very nice thing, because it didn't finish it off. You know what I'm saying? He didn't
Yeah.
kill the young lion, but he didn't need to, because he broke his back and the lion was done. He was humanely, I think, put down because the people in the background were talking about the vets were too far away. I don't think anything with a broke back can survive, but they did humanely put him down.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is when you look at and you take on and you think about being fierce or being strong, it doesn't have to be with the fierceness of nature and the instincts that nature requires, because a lion doesn't think about whether it's right or wrong. Animals don't think about right or wrong. They do what nature has trained them to do,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So anyway, but I mean, you're from South Africa. You see lions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, had you ever gone like on are lions around where you were growing up?
Well, I've seen them like only when I go out on safari in Kruger National Park. So Kruger National Park, the animals aren't enclosed in anything, so they just like roaming free. But
Right,
there are parts of the park where it is safe for humans to be. So
right. Well, that's what it seemed like. There were people off. They were filming this from a distance,
yes,
and the people that were there were talking about how, they were watching the transition here from the old lion passing away to a new lion taking over, and how these young males now are at risk
yeah,
because they are not part of this other lion's stuff. But anyway, I don't know what brought that on, but I've been trying to get it out of my head, because I'm saying it's over, it's gone, it's done, it's not anything, you can't change anything, and dwelling on it just makes me sad.
yeah.
And that doesn't serve anything. How many times did we get a song cut stuck in our head? I
Yeah,
now have this video, and I'm like, this is why I don't watch a lot of stuff. This is why I'm very, very particular about what I watch. I didn't know I was going to see that.
but that is sad. Like the poor lion getting its back broken, and then it's just sad.
It is. But that is, it's the way nature is. I mean, when you see the food chain, think about the poor
Yes.
carcass of the whatever animal it was that the lioness killed.
Yeah.
They didn't show that, thank God. I try not to
Yeah.
watch these things because, even though it is a part of nature, nobody wants to see anything die. But
Yeah.
everything, we eat meat. We think that cow was grazing in a field somewhere, happy as a lark. And one day it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not against, God made us the way we are, that we eat both meat and plants.
Yes.
And I just am not, I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm not a big protein. I'd rather eat, I mix it up with a lot of plant protein. I do a lot of protein shakes. And when my mother decides that she wants to transition to the next phase of existence, I probably won't eat a lot of meat unless I go out to dinner with somebody, because I could do plant protein, I could do my shakes and stuff. She still likes to cook where she took a steak out for tonight. I see it on the counter. We're having steak either tonight, no, maybe tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Friday. She likes
Okay.
to have steak on Fridays. So, well, she still likes her pork chops, her chicken, and she bought a whole thing at Sam's, not Sam's. She goes to Costco. Cornish hens. So we had a Cornish hen the other other night for dinner.
Oh, yummy.
Cut it in half. We each had, one little half because neither one of us are big meat eaters, but she still likes her meat. So she
Okay.
still cooks it. But I've tell people, when she transitions, and I probably could do very well with my protein shakes and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't need to live to eat. But is it next weekend? Is it not this weekend, but it's the following weekend you're going to be here, right?
Yes. So I'll be driving up on Friday and the race is on Sunday.
Okay.
Yes. So at least with me driving up on Friday, I'll have the whole day Saturday to rest because it's about a 6 hour drive.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I definitely don't want to drive up the day before.
No, that would, you do need your rest and stuff. So I will message you and we will set up to have lunch or so, however
Yeah.
you want to do with what you normally do to prepare for a race. You tell me which is better, brunch, lunch, dinner. How do you want to do it? Because
Lunch is good. Lunch works.
okay, then, and I know you told me where you were staying, but we'll get that settled out. I
Yes.
can't wait for you to be here. I can't wait to put and give you a great big hug.
Well, I'm
I
looking forward
enjoy
to
you.
meeting you.
I enjoy you being in my world. I'm thankful that you're here. Um, but if anybody has any comments about, the whole status of your word, if you want people to be accountable for what they tell you, then you have to lead by example first. Would you say that that's fair, Vidra?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
If you're not liking the status of your business or people blowing you off or whatever, look to see, are you doing that to other people? Because our energy goes ahead of us. I have been a very big, what is the word I'm trying to say? I won't say proponent, but I want to say that I have felt the effects of energy since I was a young mother. I used to tell people my daughter would have her worst day. She could have been doing just fine, and I'll walk in the door from a bad day, having a lot of things go wrong, and that I'm just not in a good mood. And that as soon as I walk in the door and my energy interacts with her energy, she's bonkers. That's when
Oh,
she decides to be ugly. My energy influenced her energy. And I noticed that when this first started happening, that even if I had a bad day, if I worked at being and controlling my energy, that it didn't affect her.
oh, okay.
Our energy goes forward. And so if you have an energy that you are not being truthful, or you are not, it's like so or whatever type of thing, then people are going to feel that from you.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter that it's a screen. Energy can be felt around the world. Energy travels really, really well. Like it's just really, one of those amazing things. And one of these days we'll know and understand it, and science will figure out how to explain it. Right now, I don't
Yes.
know how to explain it. I just know that it happens. I know that they have shown people can be on the phone with somebody and their energy comes through the phone, or they can send their energy through the phone and affect the other person. It's just fascinating. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes. I mean, energy is just like a radio signal or TV, whatever channel you tune into, that's what you're going to get. So you're
Exactly.
absolutely right. Yeah.
And one of the things that I really work at trying to, when I help work with people when they are trying to work on improving their attitude, improving improving where their thinking is it's one thought at a time. It's what is the next best thought. It's hard to go from being really angry and frustrated to, oh, I love
Yes.
you. That's a really big energy gap. A lot of people can't do that. If you're really, really mad, what would be the next easiest step is going from mad to maybe frustrated, or maybe from frustrated to disappointed, and from disappointed up to sad, and from sad up to, you work your way up the emotions until you get to where it's not so overwhelming and negative.
Yes.
But you just one little thing, because what they have shown, and they've done massive studies on this, is that a thought produces a chemical. We are not, what do they call it? We are not, somebody was explaining calories, and you know all about calories because you have to put a lot of calories in to do your running, right?
Yeah.
But they said calories is really not an efficient way to talk about the human body and how it uses energy, because we are not a heat combustion entity. We're not, we don't burn it as a heat combustion. We are a chemical factory.
Oh.
Our bodies produce all kinds of chemicals. When you think of a happy thought, it releases serotonin, oxytocin. You can be laughing and it releases endorphins that stimulate different parts of your body into not having any pain. I think it was Norman Cousins had a debilitating condition, and he could watch 2 hours. He would watch 2 hours of like the Three Stooges. I mean, because you got to remember this was way back when. But he would watch whatever he could that could make him laugh, belly laugh. We're not talking just, we're talking belly laugh, like really, really laugh, because it would release enough endorphins that he could play the piano fluently. Whereas before he couldn't, everything was just really, he was in too much pain.
Yeah.
But it would loosen up, the pain would go away enough that he could play the piano.
Wow.
He actually cured himself from the chemicals that our mind created. I mean, that's why I just finished up Joe Dispenza's book, You Are a Placebo. And Joe talks about all these studies that if a drug cannot beat the placebo effect, then it's not supposed to be published. I mean, or passed, because if people believe something's going to help them, they can cure themselves. They have shown that a person who thought they were getting a certain drug, actually the body produced it, even though they were getting a sugar pill, and they were symptom free. And they didn't have the side effects. But then again, you can tell people the side effects of a drug, and whether they get the drug or not, they are creating all of these side effects. Because our mind is so powerful. Our thoughts create the chemicals that start floating around in our body.
Yes.
And that's why if you can change an emotion that is not serving you into a higher frequency or a higher energy emotion, it changes the chemical reactions in your body. This is fascinating. I love this kind of stuff.
Perhaps I should start watching more comedies instead of true crime documentaries.
Well, that's true. But you should, and that brings up the point of with running and the stages that your body goes through with running, you might want to look into what in your thinking can help stimulate the chemicals that can help you with running, because they're there. I just don't know them offhand because I don't run. I want to get back to walking. I used to walk all the time, and the last few years I have just, with the transition between being out and running my business, doing deliveries and being out, and doing now on the social media and learning all of this, this ET stuff.
Yes.
I haven't been as into my exercise and my walking like I really enjoy doing. So, but anyway, anything else we want to talk about now that I've talked myself to death?
No, nothing else comes to mind.
Okay. Well, if anybody has any questions, we'd love to hear or discuss anything, because if not, whatever comes up for the morning. If you'd like to be on here and explain your business, I'm going to put some feelers out. I didn't know, Miss Vidra, would you like to come on and explain one virtual chat about your how you save people so much money on their funeral expenses?
Yes, I can do that next Thursday. That works. Yes.
Okay, because that's the whole thing is we're a community here, and we all have products and opportunities, and learning how to explain it other than just pitching it to somebody, but the benefits of it. We're going to go back to features and benefits here, Miss Miss Vidra. And examples and stories and things that help people better understand the importance of it, rather than say, hey, I offer this and don't you want some?
Yeah.
All right, Miss Vidra, thank you so much for showing up. And I invite everybody to come with us live, or, at least send us or put a comment in or give us some information back of what you'd like us to talk about or cover in our discussions until next weekend. And I can count on Miss Vidra. You're going to be here and you're going to talk to us. And that'll be right before you come here to Virginia. For those that
Yes.
didn't know, Miss Vidra does like to run her marathons, and she is coming here to Virginia Beach, Virginia, where I am. I'm so excited. She's going to come run in our St. Patty's. It's the St. Patty's one, right?
Yes, it is.
We have probably about 3 that are run here between the 3 or 4 cities of Hampton Roads, because I live in the Hampton Roads communities. But she's coming to do the Virginia Beach one, and I'm excited that I'm going to get to support her, go see her do her thing, and be the awesome friend that I want to be to my family here. Each and every one of you are important to me. I value what you have to offer, and I would love to have us be more interactive with the chats and with the being here on the coffee break or coffee chat, or even just connecting with helping each other with our posts and with learning about what you do. We all do something different, and I encourage you to sign up for a Thursday and let's hear about your company. All right, until next week, we're going to hear Miss Vidra next week. I'm excited. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.